Hello, it's Fred, Sheila McCoy once again.
Hello there.
And we're going to cover a new topic in this video. Again, these videos that we're doing right now, we're trying to just straighten out some of the myths and misconceptions over the last 150 years about the Hatfield-McCoy feud. And we're trying to do it with records and pictures and documents, things like that, the best we can to prove something. Some people find them interested, some don't. So it's up to you. Like I said, all we can do is throw the information out there, take it for what it is, and if you enjoy it, great. If you don't, then it's proven, it's the truth. So this one here is going to be on Devil Anse Hatfield's height. You know, there's in just about every book you read, somebody either refers to Randall McCoy telling about Devil Anse being 6 foot and 180 pounds of hell. And that's just not the case. I'm sure that wasn't Randall McCoy that made that statement, because Randall McCoy in fact was 6 foot on his military records, and we'll show you that in a minute.
Yeah, we've got that to
and
show you.
We've also got Devil Anse's muster roll to show you his height. And you know, to some people it may not mean a bag of beans. Who cares how tall the man was? He had enough power in that finger to pull that trigger in his rifle or pistol, or enough influence to make others do it for him. And so it didn't matter how tall he was, except for the point of the West Virginia Hatfields for years has always wanted to make this man seem bigger than life. He was a private, they wanted him to be a captain. He was 5'6", they wanted him to be 6 foot. All these different things, and again, we try to show our
Actual documentation to back up what we're saying.
Yeah, we try to show documentation to give you a better understanding. Now, once again, Sheila is going to...
I'll include all of these pictures on the board, so like I said before, so you can look at them at your own pace, and you can see for yourself on the muster roll how tall he is, and different things that we're going to tell you about and show you.
And that's going to be great if you'll just stop the video on when it shows a document at the end of our video. If you'll just stop it on each document and read what we've got, because some of this we're going to skip over. We can't cover it all, but it's going to be there on your TV, so you can stop it, read over it, and then see if it makes sense to you or if it don't. I mean, here, this first picture that she'll show you a close-up of here at the end, but that's Devil Anse Hatfield, and that's Levasi, his wife.
Yeah. Look at the height, how close she is.
They are both on level ground there. The ground is level. This is Philip McCoy and Ella Jane McCoy. That's my grandfather, Philip. His mother was Nancy Hatfield, and his father was Asa McCoy. And this is my grandmother, Ella Jane McCoy. And Grandma was about 5 foot. Levasi was 4'11". Grandpa was actually 6 foot tall. I think I took my height after my grandmother, but Grandpa was a 6 foot. So there's you a 6 foot man beside a 5 foot woman. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. So you can see the height difference here. If he was 6 foot, then you would be able to see it here, and it's just not there.
As we go down the photos, you're going to see a photo down here where Devil Anse is beside of Troy and what was the other brother's name? Good Elias. Beside of Elias's tombstone there. That's Devil Anse's 2 sons, and that's Levasi and Devil Anse standing beside of it. You'll see that, and she'll show you a close-up.
Right. And
then the next photo down, you'll see the same photo again, but on this photo, Devil Anse is on the right-hand side of the monument. Now, we're going to make a trip back up to the cemeteries before long and do you a bunch of videos from the different cemeteries and point out some discrepancies in other videos and different things.
Yeah.
But this has been photoshopped because the hill goes down. Here's Joe Hatfield standing in front of Devil Anse's monument. That's Johnson's monument. And here is Troy and Elias's monument. Now up here is where Devil Anse is actually standing for the real picture. And Levacy is downhill on the other end, which is this picture right here. That's the original picture.
Because you can see the slope here and the slope here. You
can see the slope. But over here, the slope is going in the opposite direction. If you've ever been to the cemetery, that hill is steep and it goes up. You don't have a part there where it's going to be higher because this side is downhill. And when you look at the pictures up close, go online and Google, and you're going to see both these pictures come up. And that's where somebody has photoshopped and flipped the picture around. And Devil Anse on this first picture, the real picture, is actually standing on the high end.
Right.
In fact, on the bottom end, you can see the concrete where the monument has got about a 6 or 8 inch concrete slab going out for the monument to level out.
Yeah.
So that's 2 more pictures that proves when you see the big tall guy there, wow, you're thinking, man, he was a monster of a man. No, he was, how tall are you, Sheila?
I'm 5'2".
Sheila's 5'2", and I'm 5'7".
But now I've got a little bit of a heel on my boot.
And I've got flats. But at the same time, this is Devil Anse and Levacy's resemblance right there. Now down here, again, is Joe Hatfield in the picture taken by Life magazine in May the 22nd, 1944, where he was talking about his father putting his monument up on the hill where he wanted to be buried. And that's what they're looking at there. And off to the right is Johnson's monument. Off to the left is the other monument.
Yep.
Here's a picture of Devil Anse by himself standing there, and there's you a short stature of a person. Right there's the height of Devil Anse. In fact, there was one place where there was it was recorded, and where one of his sons was talking about his father, and he said that his dad wasn't a real tall man. He was about 5'9". And but you'll see in a minute that he was not 5'9" even. He was shorter than that. But again, I'm not going to try to read all these to you, but when you get to it, stop and read it, and you'll be able to make sense of what we're saying. Here Devil Anse is with his son Willis Hatfield. Willis is the one, that was his last living son in 1976 that signed the peace treaty with Jim McCoy. If you haven't seen that video yet, we've done a video on that, and Sheila will be posting it. But Willis is the one that signed the peace treaty. But Willis height was at 5'9". They said 5'9" to 5'10". And here's Devil Anse, and if you even look there, the ground doesn't look like it's even completely level. Looks like Devil Anse is on the higher end, which they said was Devil Anse's MO, that he would always try to get uphill or on higher ground than everybody else, because he had a little man complex. Napoleon complex or little man complex, where short stature people seem to have an inferiority of other people in their height. So one of the most, and you're going to find this throughout our videos that we do, is we love Civil War records, because Civil War records back from 1861 to 1865, nobody knew Devil Anse Hatfield, Anderson Hatfield. They didn't know him from Randall McCoy, from anybody else. They didn't know that these 2 guys one day would come up and be famous for fighting America's bloodiest feud and most famous feud. And this document down here,
okay.
Technical difficulties.
Sorry, don't know what happened there. We was talking about the muster roll.
This document down here that you won't be able to see real clear from where you're at, the camera, but you will be when she closes in on it. And that is the muster roll, and it's titled 45th Battalion, Virginia. That's the last one that Devil Anse was in. And it's Anderson Hatfield.
Yeah.
And it's prisoner of war. And the bottom line here, it's under the heading Rebel Deserters. Devil Anse was never a prisoner of war, but he was a rebel deserter. And you'll see where it says that here, and that's confirming once again. There's not a lot of people has really opposed that or said that he wasn't a deserter. Even the West Virginia Hatfields have gone along with it and said that he deserted. They say he went home to check on his family, but he deserted. But either way, it confirms there he's a deserter. Yeah. And right down below that it says height.
5'6".
5 foot and 6 inches tall. And that's on his military record. There was no reason during that time
to lie about it, to embellish it, or anything else.
To raise it or lower it. There was nobody cared. They didn't know who Anderson Hatfield was. There's his military. So as a police officer, an investigator, that would be a very important piece of physical evidence there. Something you can hold in your hand, something that had no influence, has not been altered. That's in any Civil War record that you go back and find Anderson Hatfield, you're going to find that document right there. That's his emancipation, where he signed the emancipation, and he didn't actually sign it. Devil Anse couldn't read or write, and we'll discuss that in another video. But that's why Devil Anse was never held the rank of captain. From lieutenant up, you had to be able to read and write to send written messages back and forth to people. If you can't read and write, you couldn't hold the rank of lieutenant or captain. So down here at the bottom, you will see where he's put his X. He signed with an X, and somebody else signed the name. And up here, document shows Devil Anse to be 5'6". This document shows where he was given amnesty by the U.S. government. All Confederate soldiers were given amnesty if they signed the oath of allegiance. This document, under the heading Rebel Deserters, also, again, confirms on May the 4th, 1865, Devil Anse took the oath of amnesty, and he was still listed as a deserter.
Yep.
A picture is worth 1,000 words.
Yeah. You can easily see that from looking at the three.
This is Devil Anse. This is Ellison Hatfield, the tallest of the brothers. And this is Smith Hatfield. Smith Hatfield didn't take a part in the feud at all. He didn't ever get involved. But this is the three brothers. And Ellison was actually, on his Civil War records, Ellison was actually 6 foot tall. And Smith was the second tallest at 5'10" of the brothers. And so here's Devil Anse. So you guys be the judge. Maybe he squatted down for this picture. I don't know, but we know that's not true.
Okay.
So once again, a picture's worth 1,000 words, and there's the picture. Down here in this 1978 document where we was discussing the monument put on the cemetery, and they said it was put there in 1926 by the children. Well, we know that's not correct. Right. But anyway, it states that by far the most outstanding aspects of both cemeteries is the life-size statue of Captain Anderson Devil Anse Hatfield. The statue and monument was, and they're saying it was placed there in 1926. Well, we know that it wasn't, because it was there when Devil Anse was buried, and it was there when Johnson was buried the following year. So we know that's not true. But what we're making reference to down here is the life-size statue. They're saying that they measured Devil Anse, that he sent his measurements to them, and they measured it, and that's a life-size monument. Yeah. Well, Devil Anse's own grandson went to the cemetery with us, and I asked him, it was Stephen Hatfield, and I asked Stephen if he would care that we was making a reference to the height, and if he would care if I would climb up on his grandfather's monument. He said, no, just don't pull it off on you. He said that would be a story. Devil Anse kill another McCoy, and
Hatfield killing McCoy,
and him dead. Yeah, the monument fall on you. So climbed up on the fence and got over on the monument. Here's my driver's license. I'm 5'7" tall. Military records, everything through life, my military and everything, I'm 5'7". There's my driver's license, 5'7". Here's Devil Anse's life-size monument. Don't count the trunk. Don't count the cement platform that he's on.
Right, just your feet.
From his feet up, and I'm about 1 inch taller than Devil Anse. So they did get that right. That is a life-size monument because it corresponds with his Civil War record. And that's just another thing that we went by. Now, as we went through, first of all, I'll show you this and Sheila will have a picture of that. This is Randall McCoy's Civil War record. Oath of Allegiance for him, which he signed also. And you'll see where Randall McCoy's height was 6 foot. And they signed these in Louisa, Kentucky. Mm-hmm. And again, that's on any Civil War site that you go to, you can find that. This is a book that Sheila did for Jimmy Wolford, Jimmy McCoy Wolford, which was Jim McCoy's grandson, and was real big and influential.
Yeah, he's one influential on the peace treaty that they signed. He was a very sweet person. We really enjoyed talking to him. He was a lot of fun.
Here is Jimmy Wolford's album that he cut way back in 1976, 75, 76. And on this record, he refers to 6'4", calls Devil Anse 6'4". And we asked Jimmy, and it's in the book. And in fact, we have Jimmy on tape. We tape Jimmy for hours and hours because he's just a sweet old man to listen to. And I knew Jimmy way back when we owned Blackberry Supermarket when I was 16, 17 years old, and he would stop by. But anyway, I asked Jimmy one day, I said, Jimmy, do you know how tall Devil Anse was? And he said, Fred, Devil Anse was a little bitty fella.
And laughed.
And he laughed. And again, we've got it on tape. And he said, I said, why did you put on your album that he was 6'4"? And he said, well, there's something called marketing. And he said, when you're trying to market something and sell something, you've got to find a niche. Mm-hmm. And he said, that was the niche. He said, I knew, and you know, that there's more Hatfields back home than there are McCoys. Right. And the Hatfields was going to be my customers.
That's who he was appealing to.
That's who he was trying to appeal to, and he did. He said, the more that I could write to make Devil Anse meaner, taller, anything that I could do, they liked it that much better. And he said, I did it. He said, now, when I got ready to record it, I got ready to change it, and then I thought, well, it's going so good, I'll just leave it there. And he said, I left it there for a joke, because anybody that knew Devil Anse knew how tall he was. And, but he said, what happened later on in life, these people started writing books and doing movies and doing different things. And he said they
left it like that. They took it as 6'5".
Yeah, 6'4". And that's where it came from. He said they took it, he said, I done it as a joke, and they wrote it as the truth, and it just grew and grew and grew. So, again, that's where Devil Anse's height has always been mistaken. I don't want to beat a dead horse and everything, but it's really just, it's hard to understand why the West Virginia Hatfields especially can't, they want Devil Anse to be a gentleman, but they want him to be the meanest man that ever lived. They want him to be, you say something bad about him, and they get mad, but he's got to be the baddest person that ever lived, that took on a whole
regiment
company of 100 soldiers by himself off the devil's backbone and killed 100 soldiers, yet he was a deserter. He was gone. He wasn't even there to fight. But to listen to the stories, go ahead.
Tall tale, you could say.
That's what you call a tall tale.
Yeah.
And again, there's plenty of good reading here. Some of it's right out of our big book that we wrote, over 800 pages.
Right.
But this is just another one of the little things that we just wanted to clarify for, we may not have 5 people watch these videos, but if those 5 watch them, at least they'll know the truth. Now, whether they want to accept the truth or they want to say, oh no, Devil Anse was a captain and he was 6 foot, 180 pounds. Again, that's up to everybody. We're just trying to straighten the record out because, but we can't keep up because every time you watch a new video, it gets worse.
Yeah.
You have anything else, babe?
No, fiction sells better than truth.
Fiction, that's a good point. And
It
that's the
does.
truth. And, you know, we've always said, Sheila and I have always said that you don't have to add nothing to or take anything away from the Hatfield-McCoy feud.
Right.
Just tell it like it is, and it's interesting enough. Civil
Exactly.
War, love affairs, moonshine,
Big hog trial.
the hog trial,
Yeah.
the elections.
Yeah.
Everybody knows how elections are. So it's got all the things in there that would make a great story, just telling the truth. But for some reason, we like the fantasy world. Okay, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it.
We'll see you on the next video.
Okay, bye.